1917. After the revolution, the Bolsheviks gained absolute power in the state. The political project of the new government was industrialization of the whole country. But Russia, by tradition, had long been an agrarian culture. Civil war made people weaker. The country was not prepared for rapid changes. The new state authorities were trying to put an end to the old regime. A violent period in history started. Dekulakization, repressions against peasants, confiscation of the harvest from agrarian workers. In 1923, the Bolsheviks withdrew the wheat from all the citizens. This action coincided with a hard drought. It was the start of a terrible famine in the USSR. Nowadays, many people often speak about the famine, created out of nowhere by the Soviet government in the USSR in 1932-33. But much evidence testifies to the fact that the famine tragedy of 1922-23 was not a coincidence, but a well-planned action. Lenin.
Right now, when people are being eaten in starving districts, we can and must mercilessly and ruthlessly seize the wealth of the church without hesitating.
The Patriarch and the Church were ready to help the starving population, and to this aim, they were prepared to give up their precious belongings. All Russia Patriarch Tikhon Belavin responded to a state request to help the starving population.
We remember the commandment of Christ. If anyone wants to take your shirt, let him have your coat also. The Church cannot remain indifferent to the great suffering of a starving nation.
A barbaric plunder started after the nation's leader delivered his speech. Plunderers dragged from the churches all of the liturgical artifacts. Many of the priests and monks couldn't stand this looting without saying a word against it. Lenin.
I have come to the unconditional conclusion that right now we must launch a most resolute battle against the clergy and suppress it.
This was the true aim of the new Soviet government, known only to a small group of the leaders of the revolution. Patriarch Tikhon spoke openly.
Come to your senses, madmen, because what you do is indeed a satanic deed that you'll be put in the Gehenna fire for in the future life, and that you'll be terribly cursed for in the present mortal life. In the name of God, we forbid you to approach the sacraments of Christ. Anathema on you, if you still bear Christian names.
An outcry by clergymen against the plunder caused a reaction from the government. The famine turned out to be a mere provocation, a motivation for a shift towards anti-religious actions by the government. The requisitioned artifacts of the church were of little economic value, but the Bolsheviks achieved their main aim. They began an open persecution of the church and clergymen. Nowadays, many people wonder, how did the church manage to survive that period of severe persecution? The new government managed to eliminate almost all of the institutions and social structures of the Russian Empire which had existed before the revolution. All but the church. The severe conflict between the church and the Bolsheviks during the famine period of the 1920s was a special issue in the history of the Russian church. The creation of this film will help our contemporaries to realize the true state of the spirit in the Russian church at the beginning of the 20th century, when many Christian martyrs appeared on the historical scene.